Recording in progress. Okay. So we have 5 returning players and 4 new players. So it's really exciting to have a good group of guys that have been in Grit, which we started this year about 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, we started Grit just to give kids the opportunity. I started with 8th graders, which all of you guys are 8th graders. Well, the high school season being a little bit tricky this year, I decided to not do any high school club teams, but it's great to see you guys here. I know Aiden, I've known his dad since I was in college, which doesn't seem like that long ago, but is actually pretty long ago. Probably over 15 years now that I've known your dad, Aiden. And then he was the head coach at Concordia. So that's really cool that I've known him for a while now. And Jackson, we're getting to connect. So this is exciting. Still trying to figure out how we can make it all work. But I want you guys to know that we're going to try to work with everybody's schedule. Same thing, I know, because some of you guys are in West Lynn, Beaverton, Corvallis, North Portland. And so we're working on the schedule for June and July. So a couple of things, since all the guys that have their cameras on are new, this is a little bit maybe different program. I know you guys have played with a few different teams. I'm trying to do it a little bit different. So just so you guys know, I'm gonna be upfront about kind of what you're getting into. I expect you to have your camera on, unless you're traveling or have something else going on. I expect you to have a notebook like this one, like some type of notebook. Like you can just see all of the notes. So you don't have to have it right now, but if you can grab one, grab something, because you guys are going to be taking some notes. Because if you don't have one, that's all right. I know some of you are on your phone, so that's okay if you don't have notebook with you, but I think it'd be good to take down some of this so that way you can transfer this knowledge that I'm about to give you to your parents. I will be sending out an email, but it's good if you guys can learn to communicate with your parents, especially since you guys are all under the limit for driving. So I'll tell you, being able to communicate with your parents is really important. So hopefully Eli and Russell are running to grab a notebook, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and that there's no misunderstandings. So if there is ever questions about things or assignments or things that you have to do, let me know. You guys are always welcome to reach out to me. I'd rather have you shoot me a quick text and say, hey, Coach Miner, I didn't understand what you meant when you said this, than being confused or doing something wrong. So if you're confused about something, never hesitate to reach out. I think all of you, or you guys, I'll get you my number if you don't have my number. I'll get you my email if you don't have my email. But there we go. I was just waiting see if Russell comes back here with his something to write with. So we're gonna have these Sunday meetings, Sunday calls, where we're trying to do more than just basketball stuff. So Jason's listening, but we had a mental toughness trainer come in and talk to us. We're going to have a nutritionist speak to us probably either next weekend or the weekend after. These calls are just to try to help us touch base. We're going to practice twice a week for this summer session, which will be better. This last season, we only have to practice once a week, and then we played in 2 tournaments. So this is going to be a little bit different, but we still want to touch base on Sundays just to do extra stuff, because I want this to be a full experience for you guys. I don't want this just to be showing up on the weekends and playing basketball. This is, to me, if I'm going to give up time, like I'm on vacation right now, if I'm going to give up my time, I want to work with kids that are serious about getting better and not just as basketball players. So if that's not you, if I'm not talking to you, that's fine. You can check yourself out. But for me, I want to work with kids that want to play at a high level of high school and possibly in college. That's what I want. I don't want to spend my time away from my family with kids that don't take this serious. So I know I've known your family for a while because I've worked with your sister a little bit. Your older sister who's gonna go to Pacific, right, Russell? Go Boxers, let's go. So Rose is gonna be a college basketball player, so that's pretty awesome. But I think um, if you guys are serious about it, I'm willing to give you guys a lot of my energy and effort to try to help you guys accomplish your goals. So that's one of the first things we're going to assign you is a goals worksheet. What's up, Jason? Thanks for flipping that on there, buddy. Um, so you'll do a goal sheet because one of my favorite quotes is if your actions don't line up with your goals, change your goals or change your actions. That's not the only time you'll hear me say that. But if your actions, if what you're doing every day doesn't align with your goals, then you need to change those goals or you need to change what you're doing. So you can't have goals of playing college basketball, but then only show up to practice and expect to get that goal accomplished. So I want you guys to take this serious. And again, if you don't, just let me know. It's okay. I mean, I know some of your parents have already signed you up but I'm happy to refund them and let you find a different team. But I'll say it again, if I'm going to spend my time and my energy, I want to make sure that you guys are serious about this. That's why I want you to do these little things because I'm going to prepare you guys to talk to college coaches. Like right now, you're on a call. I'm a college coach. It's my job. I coach college basketball. Some of you guys have said you want to play college. So making priorities to put yourself in position where you can be prepared. That's the main thing I want you guys to be is put yourselves in positions where you can prepare yourself. So if there is a time down the road when you have a college coach saying, Aiden, I like your size. You've got nice touch. You know, you've really developed your game. I know you're a coach's kid. You work really hard. I want to have a Zoom call with you. I want you to be prepared for that because I do a lot of Zoom calls. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys these little tips. You know, make sure your camera's on, make sure that you're in a place where it's not super dark or super bright. You know, you want to make sure that you look and see what's in your background behind you. You don't want stupid stuff. I'll just say that, right? I think you guys kind of get what I'm saying, but you want to make sure that you're presenting yourself in the right light. Same thing with your social media. I'll just touch on that briefly. Like, I was tagging people and Eli, I tagged your wrong account. And I was like, what? Like, so making sure you clean up your social media. So social media can be a great thing. I think it is a great thing. I use it all the time, all the time. But having, you know, I'm asking to unmute Eli. Why do you have two accounts?
I don't remember why. I think I just made another one in case.
In case something happened.
Yeah.
This gets confusing. So if there's a way that you can log on to that backup account and just get rid of it if you don't use it, right? Like this to avoid confusion. But okay, you can mute back and we'll ask some more questions here in a little bit. But I think social media can be great. So I don't want to get this confused. But what you post on it, you know, because I look at social media as a college coach, I'm searching people's social media, trying to find them doing stuff that should make me not recruit them. I'll say that again, like I'm trying to find reasons not to recruit them. Because if you can play, like I can see that. But what do you do off the floor? Are you going to be a risk for me as a college coach? You can't be a risk. So you can't be doing stupid stuff. You can't be liking or retweeting stupid stuff. So we'll touch on that more. You know, that won't be the first time or that won't be the last time that we discuss that. But I think it's good to have Instagram or Twitter and just as a way to interact and put up. It's kind of your billboard, your brand. Like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known as? So if you're posting pictures of you and your friends doing stupid stuff, like it's what you're going to be known for. So trying to put out I guess I was about to say positive image of yourself, but you want to put out an accurate image of yourself. So you guys got to really do some thinking about who you really are and what you want to represent. But if a college coach is looking, trust me, they're going to look at your social media. Even if it's private, they're going to figure out a way to talk to a friend of yours, or somehow, especially if you're looking at a scholarship, like it's a risk for me as a college coach. Like if I'm a college coach and I'm offering a player a scholarship, like that's a risk. And so you want to be as low of risk as possible. So just by some of the tips I'll give you guys, I think it'll improve your chances of being able to play high level high school basketball and potentially college. I'm not going to say that I'm going to promise all 5 of you or all whoever's listening to this that you're going to get to play college basketball. But I think if you buy in, if you focus, if you spend your time and your energy trying to get better, I think I can improve your chances. So for some of you, that might be taking it from 75% to 90. For some of you, it might be taking that chance from maybe 5 to 15% if you do everything right. So that's where right now as 8th graders, your grades, what you've done to this point, all preparation for high school. So starting now, your freshman year, those grades will follow you and will impact you down the road. So really think about that when you're preparing for high school, that your grades will follow you. So don't just think, oh, well, when I get closer down the road to college, I'll start thinking about it. Start thinking about it now, and let's get you guys prepped. So I'm going to go through the schedule of what this month is going to look like, or I guess next month, which is June. So we'll start our first practice will be June 8th, which is a Tuesday. So Tuesdays, we're going 4:30 to 6. And again, I will be emailing this out, but it's good practice to take notes if you can. If you don't have a pen and paper, you're on vacation, or you're somewhere you can't, totally fine. If you need to do it on your phone, that's totally fine too. But June 8th. And then I'm still working on Thursday nights in June. In July, we have a gym in Lake Oswego that we're going to be using on Thursdays. So July 1st, July 8th, July 15th, and July 22nd. Tuesdays, they are 4:30 to 6. And I'll tell you guys this a few times, and just so you guys all know, missing practices aren't all judged the same. If you live right down the road and you choose to play video games with your buddies, I'm going to view that differently than if you live an hour and a half away and you can't get there because you don't drive and your parents have something going. I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm not going to hold that against you. But if you live right down the road, so just so you guys know, and I'm going to talk to the parents about this also, but not everybody's treated the same either. Some kids that do more deserve to have a little more leeway. And playing time it's sometimes it might not be right or maybe not fair, I guess, but I'm going to do what I think's best for the team. And sometimes that might mean playing a kid that didn't go to practice the day before the game. If for some reason they couldn't get there, or, every case is different. So I want you guys to start thinking like adults, and everybody wants a little bigger role on this team than they're going to get. And that's just the way life and basketball works. Is I get it. Everybody wants to be the guy that scores 20 a game, but not everybody's going to get to be that guy. Show me you can do it, and I'll give you that opportunity. If not, I'm going to try to work really hard to define our roles on what you're expected to do and what we're going to celebrate you for doing. That might mean, Jackson, keeping your guy in front of you and getting 6 rebounds and 6 points. I might celebrate that for you because everybody's at a different level right now. I mean, that's the truth. And Jason can kind of understand some of this because he's played for me before, but not everybody gets the same opportunities. Some kids have worked harder on their game, so they get maybe a little bit more of a green light. if that makes sense to you guys. So if you work hard on your game, or even if you don't, if you still just shoot the ball really well, you're probably gonna have more of a chance that you're gonna get to shoot the ball. But if you're a facilitator, I'm gonna celebrate if you get 8 rebounds and 8 assists. If you're a facilitator, if you're getting the rebound and you're leading the break, and maybe you set good screens. And again, I've seen video of all of you, but I haven't seen all of you guys in person yet. So that's where I'm not going to tell you what I think your role is, but I'm going to tell you that if you do your role, if you do what I ask you to do and you do it really well, like I'm going to be really happy, right? Like, right? Like, but if you try to do something outside your role too much, like I want you guys to feel like you have some freedom, but if you're trying to do too much, that's where then I'll be disappointed. If you show me in practice that you can do things, then we can have a rediscussion about your role. But I like guys that can take charges. We didn't take many charges this spring. Jason tried a couple of times. Jason tried to stand in there maybe once or twice, but that's something that if you can take charges, I know Aiden takes charges because he's big body, but if you take charges, like that, you get a little leeway with me, because that shows grit. That's grit. Taking a charge, diving on the floor, like that's toughness and that's grit. So I just wanted everybody to know that I don't judge everything the same. It's not like you miss practice, you don't play. It's not like you show up at every practice, you're gonna get to play. You might be at everything, and you just maybe just because you're there doesn't mean you're there. There's kids that show up that aren't there because they don't know what's going on. They don't know the plays. They don't know what's going on. So I'm going to be less likely to trust you in a game than the person that was there once out of the 2 practices, but was studying the playbook and knew what was going on. So I just wanted to start with that about the notebook and just trying to be upfront with you guys. So I'll finish up the schedule just so that way we can go through that. I get sidetracked. You guys will learn that that sometimes I get distracted. So I will. The first we're gonna play on a Sunday, and if you can't make these, just as long as you're communicating with me ahead of time, there won't be any negative consequences. So June 20th, we'll play 2 games in Salem. June 20th, we'll play 2 games in Salem. That following Friday and Saturday night, we'll be in Bend. Let's go, Aiden. We'll be back over here in Central Oregon, June 25th, which is a Friday. We'll play that Friday evening, and then we'll play Saturday morning. So you guys will need to stay over here that Friday night. Then we'll take the 4th of July weekend off, so you guys can enjoy that with your family. Have a great 4th of July weekend. And then the following weekend, we'll be playing in the Portland, Vancouver area. Still to be determined which tournament we're going to be playing in or how that's going to be set up. It might just be 3 local teams that just want to scrimmage or play against each other locally. Then the following weekend, July 16th through the 18th, will be the Rip City Showcase, which is in Portland. That's July 16th through the 18th. July 23rd through the 25th is the City of Roses. I love roses. Well, I mean, I love the nickname City of Roses. That was random. And then the following weekend is the highlight, the exclusive. So the exclusive is July 28th through August 1st. And you guys should be very excited about that because it's at the resort, the Westin Lake Las Vegas. So it's right on the lake. The games are at the resort, so you never have to leave the resort. Multiple pools, slides, giant Jenga, chess. They do dive-in movies at the pool where they bring a large inflatable screen out to the pool and like last year they showed Space Jam. 2 years ago they showed Jaws, I think, but they show movies out at the pool. There's stand-up paddleboarding on the lake. It's a pretty awesome tournament. And so that'll be the last weekend of July. And then after that is the Elite Basketball School, which is August 6th through the 8th. And that's actually in Salem. And it will be 15 to 20 current college coaches. Half the time you're in a classroom, half the time you're on the floor. And you'll learn from a lot of different college coaches. So you don't just have to listen to me or hear me. You get to hear multiple different coaches. So let's see what else. Tuesdays will be in Forest Grove. Tuesdays, June 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. And then in July 6th, 13, 20, and the 27th, I'll be gone. So I'm not sure if we're meet that July 27th, because I have to fly down to Vegas early to get things set up for the exclusive. So TBD on that, which to be determined if you did not know what that TBD meant. Well, that, do you guys, is there, just hearing that, are there any questions? Do any of you guys have anything you want to ask about any of that? I know some of us still need to talk. Jackson, I'm gonna talk with you and your mom after the call. I know I've been talking to your mom, Eli, and your parents, Russell. Aiden, I've been talking to your folks, and Jason, I talked to your mom. We've become fast friends. She's funny. So if you guys do have questions, you can go ahead and unmute. I know Russell had one, he texted to me. Hopefully I got that answered. So one thing to be ready for is we will have you guys start to engage. I'm not going to make everybody do anything too embarrassing today. Not that I'm embarrassing in the future, but just a little bit. But I want you guys to unmute when I say your name, and I want you to tell me I want you to introduce yourself by saying your name, what school you're going to go to next year, who's going to win the NBA Finals this year, and your favorite NBA player. So that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to introduce yourself. You're going to have to say the school you're going to go to next year. You're going to have to say who's going to win the NBA championship this year and your favorite NBA player. Okay, so Jason's already knowledgeable in this. He's been through the G.R.I.T system a little bit. So Jason, go ahead and unmute.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
My name is Jason Grady. I'll be going to Westview. I think that the Lakers are going to win the NBA Finals, and my favorite player is Jason Tatum.
Okay, Celtics, nice. Dropping 50 pieces like it's going out of style. Let's see, Jackson, go ahead. You can unmute and introduce yourself.
My name is Jackson Bloom. I'll be going to Corvallis High School, and I think the Lakers will win again. And LeBron's not really my favorite player, but I think he's the most unstoppable right now.
He is pretty unstoppable, but they are getting beat right now by the Suns, in case anybody wanted to know. I won't tell too much just in case you have it on DVR, TiVo. What do you guys call it? We'll have you say that when you unmute. Eli, go ahead. Eli, unmute, introduce yourself, and tell us those things.
All right. My name is Eli Visconde. Next year, I'm going to go to Mountainside High School. And my favorite player is Curry. And I think the Nets are going to win the championship.
Solid pick. Solid pick. Nice. Thanks, Eli. Let's hear from Mr. Kelly.
Hi, my name is Aiden. I'm going to LaSalle Prep. I think the Nets are gonna win, and my favorite player is Kevin Durant.
Okay, nice. LaSalle. Man, I don't know if your dad can hear me. I don't want to talk too much about that game the other night, but man, that was a heartbreaker. LaSalle led the entire game. LaSalle was ahead, and then Wilsonville shot a 3. They were down 2 and made it with like 2 seconds. Your dad did a great job getting a little bit of time on the clock, but man, I felt for those kids because I don't think those LaSalle kids had ever beat Wilsonville. And the Wilsonville kid just nailed a cold-blooded 3 to win it. That was the first game I'd been to this year just because it's tough to get into the gyms right now. But man, that was a heartbreaking game. Did you watch that, Aiden?
I watched the last half, but not the full game.
Okay, yeah, it was a great game. I mean, it was back and forth and runs on both sides and taking charges, and man, it was a fun game. Jason, have you been to a game yet this year? Have you been to one of your brothers in person?
Yeah.
Who'd you see him play?
I saw him play Sunset. I've seen him play Mountainside. And those are the two I've seen him play, yeah.
That's cool. I saw Mountainside just beat Jesuit. I don't know, did you see that, Eli? Had you seen that? Yeah, Mountainside. All right, Russell, you're up. Go ahead.
I'm Russell. I'm going into Westland High School. I think the Nets are going to win. If they don't, that's going to be sad because they wasted all their picks and stuff. And I don't have a favorite NBA player.
You know, you just don't have a single guy. Who do you like to watch? You like the Nets then? You like Kyrie? And
No,
I kind of like Kyrie. Kyrie's a little weird though, isn't he? I think he likes some like claimed the world was flat and was doing all that incense burning and stuff. But anyways, all right. Well, thanks for introducing yourselves, you guys. We're gonna be doing more interacting in the future. But like I said, sometimes people get off this call and they're like, man, too much. That's just too much for me. So if you're just looking for a team where you're just gonna play games and maybe practice a little bit, that's not gonna be this. So just want to be upfront with you guys. We're gonna be doing some reading. So if you don't like to read, it's summer break, you're gonna have to be reading. Luckily, I'm not gonna choose boring nonfiction. The book we're gonna go through is called The Gold Standard by Mike Krzyzewski, AKA Coach K. So we're gonna be going through that book this season, this session of Grit, which will run June and July. So I will be given an email out. I'll also be corresponding with all of you guys because Jason's got his goals in and some of the other things that we have you guys do. The other guys, you need to have a Gmail account. So if you don't have a Gmail account, you need to get a Gmail account. I'd recommend getting a name or an email that has your name, like jacksonbloom@gmail.com, or maybe put a number or two behind it. I wouldn't have it be hot baller or something stupid like that. But you need a Gmail account. You also need to have on your phone, if you have one, or on your computer, Google Docs and Google Drive. You need to have access and be able to use Google Drive, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. We haven't used Sheets yet, but you will need them. And since you guys are writing stuff down, I would say you should write down The Gold Standard, because that's the book that you're going to need to go find either on Amazon. I got my copy on Amazon. It was not very expensive, but it's a good book. So we're going to go through that chapter by chapter together as a team. It's called The Gold Standard by Coach K. So you guys we'll be reading that and discussing it as a team. But let's see. I don't think I have anything else. Do you guys have any other questions? Any questions? Anything? Let me go ahead and wrap it up with this recording. Stop it.